hello everybody, namaste. I don't know how many of you felt it yesterday, but for the first time I felt that the moment of Hindu power has come. When yesterday we all felt that, the time for the renaissance of India that we've been expecting for a long time has finally arrived. And the power of the Hindus is about to come upon the world. Now, okay, I'm a journalist. I became a journalist by accident, actually. I've been covering South Asia for 25, 30 years. I've interviewed 7 prime ministers. Not all were very interesting people. Rajiv Gandhi was a very nice and courteous man, but he had nothing to say of value. But nevertheless, I've interviewed him twice. As a journalist, when you start sincerely looking into Bharat, looking into what happened, you realize that the history of India, of Bharat, has not been written as it happened, but as British historians and later Marxist historians have written it. Thus, I started writing books, history books on India, though I'm not a historian, and trying to rewrite the history of Bharat as it happened. Now, the first foundation of the history of Bharat, in every single book, whether it is Indian, whether it is foreign, is the Aryan invasion. Every saint, from Swami Vivekananda to Sri Aurobindo to Sri Ravi Shankar said this invasion never happened. But they didn't have, it was only based on intuition. Actually, today, there are scientific proofs that the invasion of Bharat by the Aryans never happened. Yet it has divided this country like anything. Even today, recently I was in Maharashtra. I was doing a feature on the tribe that paints. They're called the Warlis. The Warlis are a very ancient tribe. Now the missionaries still go to them and they say, you're not Hindu. You are the original inhabitant of India, of Bharat. So convert to Christianity, and they do convert. Today 50 to 60% of Warlis are being converted. So it is very important, that we rewrite the history of this country, and the first thing we should do is show that the Aryan invasion never happened. Of course, when you look at the history of this country, the biggest genocide in the history of humanity is that of the Hindus. The biggest genocide in the history of humanity is that of the Hindus. It's been swept under the carpet for many reasons, some good, some bad, mostly bad, mostly bad. Nehru decided in 1947 that it was better to keep this part of Indian history, under the carpet. But nevertheless, there are at least 100 million Hindus died from the time of the Hindu Kush, from Muhammad Gautier, who took maybe 5 lakhs, slaves, women, children, young men over the Hindu Kush, and they died in winter. Even that is recognized by Western historians that there was a massacre in the Hindu Kush. From the Hindu Kush till Mumbai, 2011, the genocide of the Hindus is something enormous, appalling. It needs to be, it needs to be taken notice of. So that's what we have done. I mounted an exhibition on the genocide of the Hindus from the Hindu Kush till today. In 2005, I got a prize of journalism by Mr. Vajpayee in Parliament. There was a check, and with this check, I started a foundation called Foundation Against Continuing Terrorism. Fact. Now, why Foundation Against Continuing Terrorism? Because I witnessed firsthand the genocide of Hindus in Kashmir. I covered Kashmir extensively for Le Figaro, which is the foremost French daily in Paris. And I was there when the first Hindus, Hindu leaders in Srinagar, like Tiku and others, they were killed. I had interviewed them, I had met them, and they were started being killed. I was there when Benazir Bhutto, launched a cry for Azad Kashmir, and the next day every mosque, started telling Hindus, leave Kashmir or convert. I was there when the Hindus, ran away without firing a shot in self-defense, and it profoundly shocked me. Because I knew about the plight of Hindus, but I had never seen it firsthand. And A true journalist is one who sees firsthand so that he or she can report. That is the duty of a journalist. So I saw the plight of the Hindus, and that time I decided I should do something. So the first exhibition we did was on the genocide of the Pandits in Kashmir, and we took it all over the world. No? Sri Sri Ravi Shankar, whom I knew, when I showed him the exhibition, he had tears in his eyes, and he helped me to show it all over the world. So we showed it to the German parliament, to the Polish parliament, to the Israeli parliament, and also to the US Congress in Washington. And there you can see there are 2 US senators. One is, I think, Joe Wilson, the other one is Frank Malone. And the Indian ambassador, his name was Ronan Sen. He refused to come, but the number 2 came. He was the number 2 of the Indian embassy in Washington. He came. He died since then. His name was Mr. Jaswal. Of course, Bangladesh. Many people have talked about this, and the genocide of Hindus in Bangladesh is something that we should. So we have an exhibition also on the plight of Hindus in Bangladesh. Now, whenever you stumble upon Indian history, there is one person you come upon all the time. His name is Aurangzeb. Of course, you know that in Delhi there's one of the most prestigious avenues named after Aurangzeb. So, when I started writing books on Indian history, I came upon Aurangzeb many times. And then I learned that Aurangzeb original firmans, all the edicts, all the orders that he passed, he was a very meticulous emperor actually. He was a very intelligent and meticulous emperor. So every order he passed, was written in Farsi, signed, and it's been kept actually. It is still there today in the archives of Bikaner. So through the chief minister of Rajasthan who knew me, Mrs. Sindhya, Rai Sindhya, I got access, my professor of history got access to the archives of Aurangzeb, to the firmans, and we did an exhibition based only on Aurangzeb's orders, original orders. So, for instance, this is an order, for the decapitation of Tegh Bahadur and his sons. So, upon this order, my historian, who was Professor Bhatnagar of Rajasthan University, he asked our team of painters to do a sketch, which is historically correct. Then the black and white sketch was submitted to my historian and to myself later. We approved it, and then we did original paintings, signed and dated, based only on Aurangzeb firmans. So this exhibition, we showed it in Delhi. We had some problem in Chennai. The police closed it down in Chennai, but now it's exhibited in Pune in our museum. For me, Shivaji Maharaj, is a vibhuti. He's a direct envoy of Lord Shiva, and the work that he did, a single man against the most powerful army in the world with a small band of men, is tremendous. It's miraculous. His escape from Agra, everything that he has done, is something that India should honor much more. Forget that he's not known at all abroad, but in India also, in South India, you say Shivaji Maharaj, they think that he is the actor. So we need to honor, and so we did honor him. We did an exhibition on Shivaji Maharaj, showing him as a vibhuti. Unfortunately today, the Sikhs are forgetting that they were created to defend Hindu Dharma. That every Hindu family used to donate their elder son to Sikhism. And there is a schism after Blue Star operation. There's a great schism. Not many people are conscious of it, but I am conscious of it because my wife is Sikh and I meet many Sikhs for different reasons. That Hindus and Sikhs are brothers, and we need to remind the Sikhs why they were created. Of course, they did great sacrifice. The Sikhs have sacrificed a lot for the Hindus. But today, that schism is something that should worry you. The first phase of the museum was inaugurated by Mr. Narendra Modi. You can see it's in the corner, and Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. This is my wife in the center. This was the first phase of the museum, the Shivaji Maharaj exhibition. Another great hero of India is Maharana Pratap, also not so well known outside Rajasthan. There is that great fascination in the West for Maharajas, but not many people know that most Maharajas collaborated with the Mughals and then with the British. The only Rajput who actually fought the Mughals and beat them and hold them at bay is Maharana Pratap against Akbar. So we have also honored Akbar. This is an exhibition in different style, in Mewar style. We call this exhibition Hindu tolerance throughout the ages because Hindus have been persecuted so much, yet they kept their faith, they kept their tolerance, they kept their acceptance. So this exhibition is in our museum in Pune. The police closed it once. When the Dalai Lama came, they forced us to remove it, but now I've put it back. There's also another great, prejudice in the West about India that all Indian women are persecuted, burnt, they have dowry deaths and they're raped. It is true that there are many abuses against women in this country, but I have never seen a country which honors women as much as in India. So we wanted to show that. And so we did an exhibition Ahilyabai with a great queen, in advance of her time. She was not even from a royal family. She was a great ruler. She fought the British. She had a battalion of women. Dara Shikoh was the brother of Aurangzeb. He was beheaded by Aurangzeb. He was the eldest son, the preferred son of Shah Jahan. He should have become the emperor. He was a friend of the Hindus. His brand of Sufism had been wiped out of India. I was there in Kashmir when the last Sufi mosque was burnt in Shah-e-Sharif. We also honored him. So we have opened the museum. It's a small museum, but it's open. It's in Pune, about 12 minutes from the airport. This is the land 3 years ago. We started, you can see on the right, the Shivaji Maharaj exhibition hall. Then we did a temple. I wanted to do a temple dedicated to Mother India, to Mata Bhavani, because I'm a disciple of Sri Aurobindo, and he wanted to do such a temple in the early 1900s. So this is a temple dedicated to Mata Bhavani. There's a statue of her giving the sword to Shivaji Maharaj to defend India. It's a unique temple, in the Sri Yantra model, and it's open. Every day we have Aarti there. This is the second phase. Sri Shankar, Mr. Gadkari got given some money, also he came, we invited him. These are some of the buildings, slowly we don't have much money, but as the money comes, we make buildings. The Dalai Lama came also a year ago because we did something on the Tibetan Holocaust. This is one of our buildings. We try to conserve water, so we bring all the water around the buildings. Uddhav Thackeray came also, so we had the Aarti in the temple. This is one more building we're building. This is Ahilyabai building that we finished 2 months ago. This is a new building that we are using. We have exhibition on the Vedas also because I feel the Vedas are the foundation of Indian culture and they should be there. So all based on the historicity of, I'm working with people who show that the Vedas happened, the Ramayana happened, that they're historically true. This is a future museum. I'm trying to raise money to build. It's a very expensive museum, but we wanted something very unique that looked Hindu. I wanted a museum that looked Hindu from outside, from the top, from the side. So my architect in Pune came back with his design, which I'm very happy about. So again, based on the swastika and the Sri Yantra concept. This is some of the plan of the museum. We want it to be a museum of beauty, with amphitheater, gardens, people bring their children, people come to learn about the history and come out, knowing about the bad time, but also, about the greatness of Indian history or the history of Bharat. So this is my project. This is my, my gift to India. I have lived in this country for 45 years, and I feel that this country has given me a lot, and this is the way I want to repay Bharat.